Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. In this video I want to talk about a new major offering, or at least I regard it as a significant step for Informed Trades, which is raising money for one of our own members. As I mentioned in the video that marked the end of 2009, sort of our reflection of 2009, as well as looking forward in 2010, one of the things I know that will be a goal for 2010 is to find members of our community that have proven themselves to be competent and capable traders that have worked to sort of embody the culture and the discipline and the vibe that we have at Informed Trades, and to help them raise money. The basic idea is, I myself am a trader, but of course there are many other traders out there. Some of them are going to be better, some of them are going to be better in certain conditions. More importantly though, it's a simple diversification argument. So, I'll place a little bit on me, here's some on what I can do and what I can do well or think I can do well, and invest in others that I think can also succeed. And that's sort of part of the idea of the informed trades community, as well as social investing and sort of what the internet, what's special about investing on the internet, and what it really enables. So the first trader that we'll be raising money for is Ektrader. If you've been to InformedTrades.com, you've probably seen it. He's been a very active member. I know he's done a great job of advancing our mission statement, has helped a lot of us learn, has proven his capability over time. So I definitely wanted to give him the opportunity to raise money as part of the next step of trading for a living. This is also something that I think can benefit the entire community. I know I myself will be putting $2,000 of my own money behind Ektrader, because I have faith that he's an excellent trader that can get the money back. Or at least I definitely I feel confident taking that risk. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about how this process is going to work. I've been in the financial markets, the currency trading business in particular, since 2002, the beginning of 2002, so now 8 years. So I feel confident in my ability to know a good trader when I see one. I definitely think Ektrader is a good trader, and I'm happy to help him raise money as well as to put my own money behind him. I think this is a win-win in all ways. So in this video, we'll be talking a little bit about how this process works. We'll also be taking some oaths because this is a very serious issue. Like I said, I've been involved in the trading business for 8 years. I know that raising money is a serious thing, and trading other people's money you need a lot of trust to do that. You need to be a responsible professional person to do that. No one is going to give you their money if you're not responsible professional, nor should they. A big part of Informed Trades and what we've been setting up for the past 2 years, and why I do these videos from my apartment, is to show you, to hopefully earn that trust, to show you that I'm a professional person, that I can be trusted in this matter, that Informed Trades as an organization, as a community, that's part of the philosophy. Be very transparent, earn people's trust, show what you're capable of, and then let's see what opportunities come from that. So in this video, we'll talk a little bit more about Ektrader, the style that he's going to take in managing the funds that will be raised for him. The length of the fund will be 6 months, as well as what you can expect. As always, if you have any questions, for all the details, you can head over to InformedTrades.com. Thanks and enjoy. Or how are you going to trade this fund and what it's going to be like?
Well, my goal is to try to take only what I believe are the best setups on levels that I believe, based on my analysis, are the strongest levels of support and resistance. I'll be doing 2 types of trades, reversals and continuations, or the start of a new trend based on the strength that I believe is in the market at that time. I'm going to trade the fund with proper money management techniques, using 2% as a hard stop, but in most cases any bad trades will probably be stopped out well before 2%. My goal is just to be consistent and just try to make the best possible trades.
So in terms of 2%, you said, now is that, just to clarify, you're not going to risk more than 2% of the account at any time, or just 2% of the account's value on each trade, or
no more than 2% of the account's value on a trade.
Okay, so you may have one trade where you're risking 1.5%, another trade where you're risking 2%, another trade where you're risking 1%. So in aggregate, it could be risking 6 or 7%.
Absolutely not.
Oh no, okay.
I would never be risking 6 or 7%. 2% will always be the maximum on any one trade. That's pretty much an emergency stop situation. In most cases, most trades that are negative won't be more than 1%, maybe even 0.5%.
Okay, so but you won't risk more than 2% on any one trade, but you're
Correct.
also saying that you're not going to risk no more than 2% of the account's value will ever be exposed. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay. How hard and fast are you going to be with that rule? Is that like absolutely not 2%, but if there's, let's say a dream setup comes up, would you might be willing to risk more, or what you perceive as a dream setup, or?
I'll never risk any more.
Never. Okay, so that's the rule. Okay.
Well, it's real simple, and it's really not that hard to do. I'm gonna place my entries. I enter with limit orders most of the time. I'm gonna place my entries in an area that leaves me no more than 2%. So if the market doesn't come down and take my orders, then the trade just doesn't catch.
Do you mind if you speak a little bit louder? I just want to make sure there's no volume.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I will always place trades that I don't care how good the setup might look. I might get an entry signal to go long, but the market has to come back and give me my price in order for me to take the trade. So I'm always going to enter at an area that will leave me no more than a 2% stop loss area.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So now you were mentioning that you're only going to trade currency pairs that have futures volume.
Correct.
And do you know? I know that's euro dollar. I think it's dollar yen. Do you know what the other ones are, or?
I believe the pound. There's like 4 or 5 of them. I'm not sure because I don't have my platform with me, and it probably won't even be all of those. I'm probably only going to trade about 2 pairs.
Euro dollars. It seems like a good
That one
chance of
I'll
being,
definitely trade.
Yeah, that I would. It seems like that would be the one that gets the most attention. It's got the liquidity, the volume, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Now, one of the things that we talked about is that, obviously there's going to be people, or we're raising money on a 6-month time frame, and when people subscribe to the fund or buy into the fund, they'll be given access to like a private forum where you're sharing the trades that you're doing, and they can ask questions, as well as if they have a completely different issue and they want to ask a question about that, they could do that. Like, let's say they're trading some futures contract and they just want your opinion because they like so they can ask you in a forum too.
Yes, I encourage you.
And that's going to be, now, in addition to, obviously the people that buy into the fund are going to have access to that. But then for those who don't want to buy into the fund, there's a minimum $500 buy-in, so maybe they don't want to spend that much. But they may still want to pick your brain on a lot of issues. They may still want to see the trades that you're placing. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's one of the best ways to learn, maybe the best way to learn, just watching someone. And if you can ask them questions, they can reply, it's a great way to learn. So people will also have the ability to ask questions, buy in for a month, and be sort of like a student, like a mentoring service. I guess, tell me why you'd be a good mentor.
Well, I believe the value that I'll be able to add with my mentor service is that I'm actually going to be there for you and attempt to be a coach and hold you responsible for your trades. I want to set it up in such a way where you're interacting with me hopefully at least once a day, or at least once a day when you do trade, and I can ask you about your trades, more of a hands-on, kind of like having a trader as a best friend. The personal attention that you'll get from my service is going to be something that you won't get anywhere else.
So you're really saying that when someone buys in and then they're going to want to ask you questions. They pay. They're going to want to pick your brain. You're going to be able to get back. When you're saying every day, you want to interact with these people daily.
Absolutely, or at least every day that you trade.
That's right. They got to come. I mean, you can open the door, or the teacher can open the door, but they have to do the work. They have
Absolutely.
So in terms of your personal trading style, just so people learn more about you as a mentor, as well as if they want to invest in you, what are some of the lessons that you've learned? Maybe almost everyone who ends up being skilled at something makes a lot of mistakes along the way. So tell me about some of the lessons you've learned, some of the mistakes you've made.
Okay, well,
how you've become wiser.
Well, it's pretty common knowledge. A lot of people know that, first off, money management is key. You can actually make a lot of mistakes, but if you manage your money, you can always live to trade another day. So that's one. Two, if you're going to be an intraday trader, trading takes a lot of practice. There's different opinions on this, and mine might go against the grain a little bit, but I'm the type of person, I believe in abusing the demo account. True enough, the feelings that you get when you trade live are going to be totally different. But at least if you abuse your demo account, learn a good strategy, at least have a good idea of what you're doing, once you enter the market, you can start facing those demons in a position of strength, as opposed to a position of weakness where you don't even know what you're doing. I mean, you'll get into the market not even sure why you're there.
Right.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
So, bottom line, day trading takes a lot of practice. Anybody that joins my mentor service, I suggest practice before you risk not even 1 cent of your money. And then once you get a hang of what you're doing, then go in small, dip your toe in. But at least, understand what you're doing. With the demo account, you sit through trades that you normally wouldn't sit through. And then you become profitable and you think you're a genius. But the truth is, you have to be real with yourself and hold yourself responsible, even for the demo account. Man, this trade was bad. How can I trade better? Continue along that road. If you can't psychologically put yourself in a different place with the demo account, you ain't gonna do it with a real account.
Share, or if you don't mind, share with us what happened in 2008 affected you, as well as what did you learn from it? Why are you a better trader? So if something like that happens again, how are you going to play it differently?
What I realized was, okay, prior to 2008, when I first started trading, I actually made a lot of money quickly, early. But I was actually trading price action right from the beginning. I didn't know it at the time, but that's what I was doing. I made a lot of money early. I experimented with a lot of different things, different option strategies, and I lost a lot of money. And once October came, with the VIX being at 80, pretty much says it all. When the VIX goes up, that's a measurement of the swings that the market will have. It's very difficult for anybody to deal with 400 point swings up and down. In retrospect, I realized that I probably shouldn't have even been trading in that environment, especially a speculative vehicle such as the futures.
So now let's say, will you be looking at VIX again? Let's say VIX goes through the roof. Are you, with this fund, will you be stepping out?
Absolutely.
Okay. So VIX is something you keep an eye on.
Yes. It's weird. VIX is a double-edged sword. You can also use it as, well, the VIX has increased a little bit. That means chances are when I do enter at a good price at either support or resistance, I'm going to have a larger run. So you can look at it that way too. But when it's in the 70s, 80s, like it was, I believe it got up to like 70s or 80s in October of 08, that was just kind of too ridiculous. There was no way to, you could never really get good entries. I sat there and watched the market every day. 5 minutes, you'd be making money, and in an instant, you'd be down 100 points. So it just wasn't a good environment for trading.
So how, at what point, or what's the VIX number where you say to yourself, this is crazy, I'm out?
If it ever probably reaches 40, 50, I would say I'm out.
And this applies to all markets, currencies, futures. I mean, they're all correlated or related in some way. So if you see that VIX, okay.
Exactly. VIX is the ultimate fear factor.
Now, how many trades on average do you place in a month or over a 6-month time frame or whatever?
Well, to be honest, I never counted that, but my goal usually is 1 to 2 trades a day. With this particular fund, it'll probably be similar. 1 to 2 trades a day, and most likely I won't put a trade every day. It'll probably be maybe 3 to 4 times a week.
So some days there just aren't going to be opportunities, in which case
Exactly.
you're out.
Exactly. And I'm really looking for strong levels. I'm not looking for the noise that happens in between. I'm really going to be looking for strong levels of what I believe are strong levels of support and resistance.
Okay, one of the issues that's always an issue with money management, or when you're raising money for traders and trading other people's money, is that it's other people's money, and money managers profit through the upside, meaning they get X% of the profit. So the danger, or what can sometimes happen, is that their incentive is to take a lot of risks. Like, just because if they lose, they're not really losing anything, but if they gain, then they get that upside. But of course, if they lose, that means the people that invested lost, and that's a problem. So basically, to help avoid that problem, well, the first thing is you have to deal with people that you trust, which is what a lot of this is about. The past 2 years that Ektrader and Informed Trades has been up. A lot of it is, and why we do all this, transparent stuff, these videos and blogging and all that stuff, is to help earn that trust. But I also, because I know how big and how important it is, I asked Ektrader to sort of take an oath that he's going to trade this money like it's his own. So with that in mind, you can just raise your right hand, and I, Errol Kelly, will promise to trade this money as though it's my own.
As though it was my own.
So folks, there you have it. Ektrader has taken an oath. He's going to be responsible. And now you've met him. You've learned a little bit about his style. And of course, if you have any questions on this, informtrades.com.
Let me add a few things. Also, I just want to assure you guys that, I've mentioned on my blog, and other people that know me know, I'm in this to eventually become a huge professional trader. That is my goal, and I have to do well with this and projects such as this. Everybody knows that in this industry, track record is very important. So it would only behoove me also, not just financially, because I can promise you I won't get rich trading this fund. But the main goal for me is to trade well, do right by the people that invest in this fund, and on a percentage basis, just bring this fund to the next level and bring myself to the next level. Thanks.
Okay, great. And as always, if you have any questions, join us over at informtrades.com.